everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. This is Cindy with Moonfire Studios. Today I am going to be doing some quick and easy Christmas cards. These are with the Chapter 1 Dora's Dinky Christmas charity cards. I don't know if you can read that or not. But it says all profits from the sale of this kit goes to the Pied Piper Appeal for Sick and Disabled Children. Again, this is from Chapter 1 Papers. I will link their Etsy shop down below. These are two that I have done so far, and I did them a little differently than what they were designed to do. So that one's to send, and then this one is to put into a journal. So there's those two designs, and this is the kit. I believe there are 16 card designs, and they are made to be 4x4 cards, and basically you just kind of cut them out, score along the fold, and there you have it. There's that one. These. They're really pretty, and they are for very simple, easy to do cards, and they even give you a 4x4 envelope. You can just cut it out, and you can print multiple ones of these, or you can just print one and use it as a template. And they even give you a little extra accent piece, and you can print. Mine I have printed on, I believe it's 70-pound hammer mill laser paper, so it's heavier printer paper. And then I did the envelope in 80-pound cardstock, and you can just as easily print the cards on 80 pounds, so you can just cut them out and be ready to go. But I was rather infatuated with the torn journal that Dora has done, or is doing, on their Instagram page. And if you get a chance, check that out. It's really, really pretty. And so let's just get right into it. I'm going to be using this one for this card, and the card base that I'm using is a 12x12 scrapbook page in a Cricut cardstock, so it's still pretty flexible, but it's not exactly super thick for postage and things like that. And it has a texture on one side, kind of like a basil paper. The other side is semi-smooth, to where the ridges aren't as noticeable. So that's what I'll be using for that. And let's see, I'm going to tear this one in half, and then just tear out the design how I want it to be. Even though they are meant to be quick and easy cards, they are limitless with design aspects. There's a really cute one, like you can take this heart and You can punch it out, you can tear it out, you can cut it out, and you can put it on different places. Like this could go on top of here, and you could layer it, anything like that. You can mix and match the designs together. And so what I'm going to do here is just outside of the red border, I'm going to lay down a line of water and just tear it. I let it soak in for a little bit and then just do like that. I'm using the thicker paper on this so that I can get a decent amount of water to make it tear easier. And you can ruffle up the edges. And I like to print my digitals with a laser printer because the ink or toner is waterproof. And so if I use a lot of different types of inks or water on top of it, it's not going to run. And if you use an inkjet, just do a test piece to see how it works. Sometimes the bleeding effect is really cool. There's that one. And just be mindful if you want to stamp on it, like I did with this one, with the happy wishes, make sure you leave enough space. You can always stamp it before you tear it so that you are guaranteed that your design or your sentiment will fit. And the gold ink around the edges is the Spectrum Noir metallic pigment in gold. It's the Midas ink pad. And I inked around the little accent piece, letting these guys dry while I work on the envelope. And they also have it's really nice on their envelope printout. They tell you which flap is which. The bottom flap has the little flat end and the top flap has the rounded accent corner. And I did not ink every single edge. I don't know if you can tell on the back of that, because I didn't want these to stand out like that. You can if you like to. So I put mine together and then I inked around the exterior edges. This is just Fabri-Tac glue. I decanted it into a Sugar Bell bottle because it's easier for me to squeeze it out. I also like the Fabri-Tac glue because if I use too much, which I like to do, you can just rub it and it'll come off on most items. Just make sure I didn't glue anything on the inside. I'm just going direct to the ink pad for this because there's no fluffy bits on the edge, so I'm not too concerned about paper fibers getting into the ink pad. And I'm not using a bunch of pressure. So there's that. And then I'll just cut this down to 4x4. I always do a test to make sure it fits inside my envelope before I start decorating. And then on mine, I just rounded the corners. Like so. And I'm going to take my heat tool to these to speed up the drying. Now on mine, I did stitch around the design to kind of help. I thought it helped kind of ground it to the backing. You don't have to, it's not necessary. If you don't like to sew or you don't have a machine, you can always just take a pen and do little dotted lines. You can do a couple circles, some X's, some crisscrosses. You can leave it blank. You can just squiggle a line around. Whatever you prefer to do. So I'm going to sew these 3 pieces and then I will be right back. Okay, I just did some little funky stitching, and you can make yours however you like. Just don't try to go over the same place too many times, because you will perforate your paper and you'll end up with a big hole in it. So I'm just going to ink the sides of these, and I'm doing it the same way because my paper that I'm using, it may look fuzzy in places, but it doesn't shed things, so I'm not getting stuff on my ink pad. If you do, you can use a dauber, you can use a blending tool of your choice, even a little makeup brush, or your finger. Or you can use gilding wax, you can use a metallic pen, whatever you have on hand, or whatever you like to use. I just like this effect for this particular card. I decided to not stamp a sentiment on the inside. I may put something in a little bit later, I'm just not sure yet. So these are going to be the ones that I send out to people. Okay, and then like this one, I did the outside of the red card, and this one I did not. So I leave that to see if I think it's necessary, and I don't, because this has enough going on here that I don't think it needs anything behind it. So I'm just going to glue it down, and I like to glue over my stitching. It helps keep it in place, and then if the edges pop up, I think it's a neat detail. Give it a nice press, and then you can rub it. It usually comes out cold, and then once it gets warm from your hands is when it sticks really nicely. You have about a few seconds time, depending on what you're putting together, for it to be able to still be moved. And make sure everything is right side up. And since this one is going in the mail, I'm going to make it like this one where I put the little accent on the back. I'm going to, that's next to where I'll have my handmade by stamp. And I get that way. Okay. And then for the glittery parts, I just use the Sizzix glitter. It's very microfine and white, and I use the Sizzix 3D adhesive, which works so well. Oh my gosh, it's really, really good. Okay, put this underneath here to catch it. And all of the new Sizzix products have this neat little cover inside of them with a little handle on it that mine's gotten stuck with. But it just pops off. You can save that, and it'll help keep it fresher, longer. And I'm just taking a little microfine dauber doodad and just basically dipping it in and plopping it wherever I want some sparkle to kind of look frosty. And you can build it up since it's a dimensional adhesive. It can go pretty thick. Which I don't need it to be, so I'm just doing a light layer. Just kind of blobbing it where I want some sparkle. And then on the holly berries, where the sheen is for the reflection, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be reflection or snow, but I'm just doing little dots on there to make it frost-like. I really like this glitter because it's really micro fine. And you can just pop it on. It does not take long for the 3D adhesive to dry on its own either. And you can use a heat tool if you need to. And I heated this one up with a heat tool. I got it pretty hot and the glitter stayed nice and white and crystal color. So it didn't yellow at all, which was really nice. And it's really nice glitter too because
interruption.
Hi. Everyone say, hello, Mr. Moonfire.
Hello, everyone.
How are you today?
I am fantabulous.
Awesome. Tastic. Anyway, as I was saying about the glitter, it's really nice because it sticks where you want and it comes off really easily where you don't want it. Because this is pretty highly textured paper. Oh, my hands. Look, it's evil. Come here.
No.
You don't want to play with the evil?
No.
Ha ha ha.
Hey,
Glitter is pretty.
glitter is for epistemals.
Ephemera.
Epistemal.
Ephemera. Okay. And to bring out the holly berries even more, I am using a Sakura glaze pen. You can use glossy accents if you want to, but I just want a little bit of shine, not really so much the depth. And if you want to, you can go in on every one of these, but I'm just going in on a few to add a little extra dimension. And shine. It only takes a few seconds to dry, so you can do that on the inside if you like to. But there is our card. A little extra, all done. You can just pop it in, seal it up, and you're ready to mail. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a nice, fun, crafty time with me today. And again, check out Chapter 1 Papers for their Dora's Dinky Charity Card Kit. Until the next time, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.